Welcome to the session on cloud computing and its application. In this particular session, we will discuss hardware virtualization techniques like hardware assisted virtualization, full para and partial virtualization, operating system level virtualization, programming level virtualization. Also, to sum up, to conclude, we will discuss few pros and cons of virtualization. Hardware virtualization technique. The term refers to the scenario in which the hardware provides architectural support for building VMM. So there are basically four types of hardware virtualization technique which we are going to discuss. The first one is hardware assisted, full, para and partial virtualization. Let's talk about hardware assisted virtualization. It is Hardware assisted virtualization is the use of computer's physical component. For example, its hardware, its storage, etc. to support the software that creates and manages virtual machine. In this case, the software is virtual machine manager. First, hardware assisted virtualization, the best example is IBM Systems 370, which started in 1972. Presently, Intel VT, AMD VMware virtual platforms are few of the hardware assisted virtualization. The second type of virtualization technique is full virtualization. Full virtualization is a virtualization technique used to provide a virtual machine instance that completely simulates the underlying hardware. In this type of environment, any software capable of execution on the physical hardware can run in virtual machine, and any OS supported by the underlying hardware can be run in individual VMs. Users can run multiple different guest operating systems simultaneously. In full virtualization, virtual machine simulates enough hardware to allow an unmodified guest OS to run in isolation. Let us try to give you an example. For example, an operating system development experimental new code which is yet to be released can run on the same can run at the same time as an older version, each in a separate VM. What does this mean? That on an hardware, any software, in this case it might be a virtual machine manager, is operated, an experimental operating system code or a newly built code can run on it without interfering with the actual functioning. The hypervisor provides each VM with all services of physical system including a virtual BIOS, virtual devices, virtualized memory management, etc. The guest OS is fully disengaged from underlying hardware by virtualization layer. Full virtualization is achieved by using combination of binary translation and direct execution. If you see in the diagram on your right hand side, user application, there is a direct link between user app that is in the ring 3 and the host hardware. Direct executions of user request can be done over here. Also, there is a link between guest operating system, VMM and host hardware. This happens with the help of binary translation of operating system request. With virtualization, hypervi full virtualization hypervisor, the physical CPU executes non-sensitive instructions at native speed. Operating system instructions are translated on the fly and cached for further use. The example, the diagram clearly shows that the hypervisor runs in a ring 0 authority, that is the privileged mode, whereas the guest OS is in ring 1, and binary translation is used for conversion of guest IS instruction set architecture with to host instruction set architecture. The advantages are complete isolation, enhanced security, ease of emulation of different architecture, and coexistence. The second type of virtualization is para-virtualization. Para-virtualization is the category of CPU virtualization which uses hypercalls for operations to handle instructions at compile time. In para-virtualization, guest operating system is not completely isolated, but it is partially isolated by the virtual machine from the virtualized layer and the hardware. In short, each guest operating system knows that there are coexisting guest operating systems along with it. Different operating systems can work on this, but it has to be modified in order to run. To communicate with the shared hardware devices, as discussed earlier, each guest operating system with modified and they raise an command which is called as an hypercall. These hypercalls can then be can be of memory management or process management instructions. The guest OS which is not modified cannot operate in para-virtualization. For example, in this particular diagram, para-virtualization instructions of guest OS is delivered to hypervisor by using a hypercall. You can see in the left hand side. Hypercall handles these instructions and accesses the hardware and fulfills the requirements of the guest OS by returning the results. Guest has authority to directly control the resources. Advantages are guest OS is aware of demand and less load on the hypervisor. Now, in this particular slide, let us try to differentiate or let us try to understand the difference between full and para virtualization. In full virtualization, virtual machine permits the execution of instructions with the running of unmodified operating system in an entire isolated way. Whereas in para virtualization, VM, that is virtual machine, does not implement full isolation of the OS, but rather provides a different API which is utilized when operating system is subjected to alteration. Full virtualization is less secured when compared to para virtualization. Full virtualization uses binary translation and direct approach as a technique for operation, while para virtualization uses hypercall at the compile time. Full virtualization is comparatively slower when compared to para virtualization. Full virtualization is more portable and compatible, whereas para virtualization is less. Example of a full virtualization, we can say Microsoft on parallel systems, whereas example of a para virtualization is VMware and Zen, which you are going to see in the coming chapters. When entire operating system cannot run in virtual machine, but some or many application can, it is known as partial virtualization. Basically, it particularly simulates the physical hardware of a system. Address space of virtualization is the key form of para virtualization. Okay, in operating system virtualization, the virtual machine software, or we usually you guys call it as VMM. In this case, let's call it as virtual machine software, installs in the operating system of the host. That is, it is installed within the operating system of the host rather than directly on the hardware. So there is no use, or we will not be using any hypervisor or VML. The most important use of operating system virtualization is for testing the application on different platforms or operating system. The virtualization is has set on a single OS. OS kernel allows multiple isolated user space instance like admin, user 1, user 2, etc. Good for server consolidations. Few of examples are also listed below. About application level virtualization. Application virtualization is no longer a new concept. Countless organizations are making the best use of this technique or this application virtualization to support remote offices, which help them cut costs associated with setting up a temporary office and to transform the way their business deliver to the end user. Application virtualization delivers apps to the user's computer independently of local desktops without having access to the application on the physical devices. Individual Individuals use this application virtualization to prevent compatibility issues when installing a new app across network for numerous reasons or numerous users. Application is an essential component of a complete desktop virtualization strategy, and it applies to cloud migration services, both software and hardware, servers and storage. Server based approach. Benefits of application virtualization is listed here. You can kindly go through the slide. It's going to give you the benefits of application virtualization as discussed during the flow. The next one, programming language level virtualization. The best example for this is Java Virtual Machine. What is this programming language level virtualization? It is mostly used to achieve ease of development. In short, for developers, the developers use this as a development of application for managed execution and portability across different platforms and operating system. It consists of virtual machine executing the bytecode of the program, which is the result of the completion process. The other type of virtualization, we will not discuss this in detail, but it's storage virtualization. The best example for this is storage area network. You have a subject which you are going to learn about this. We already know what is network virtualization, the concept of VLAN, and the well-known desktop virtualization is also discussed earlier. It's a client server approach. Thank you. The last topic of this module is virtualization and cloud computing. We will explain in depth about each of these topics in future modules. Primarily, hardware virtualization is nothing but infrastructure as a service. Program virtualization stands for platform as a service, and server consolidation is aggregating virtual machines. What is live machine migration or live uh, migrations? Virtualization technology change the way the data center of enterprises utilize their server resources. Instead of using a dedicated server for each type of application, virtualization allows viewing resources as a pool of ununified resources, thereby reducing the complexity and easing the manageability. Server consolidation technique, which deals with reducing the number of servers used by consolidating applications is one of the main applications of virtualization in data center. In the diagram above, what you see are two images. One is before migrating and one is after migrating. You see there are two servers, each server with dedicated virtual machines which are underutilized. And after migration, what we see is the load. It's a load balancing technique where an underutilized server is totally utilized by live migration and consolidation of the server, hence making the best utilization of the resources from the pool. So let's conclude this module by understanding the pros and cons of virtualization. Basically, the pros of virtualization: it reduces IT cost, capital expenditure saving, a huge capital expenditure saving, operational expenditure saving, data center and energy efficiency saving. Okay, the upfront cost is high, that is one of the cons. Effective resource utilization is one is the pro. Now let us try to list out what are the cons of virtualization. As I said, the upfront cost is hefty. Not all hardware or softwares can be virtualized. There is a performance degradation, inefficiency and degradations. User experiences, users may not be that comfortable with virtualization. Security and other new threats might emerge. This completes the module 1 and virtualization topic. Thank you. So in this video, we have we have understood what is hardware assisted virtualization, difference between full virtualization, para and partial virtualization. We had an overview about operating system level virtualization, programming language level virtualization, a little bit about storage, network and desktop virtualization. We also understood what is live migration over server and server consolidation. And yes, to sum up, we listed out few pros and cons of virtualization. Thank you.